Okay, so this is my second recording because I accidentally was recording, quote unquote recording, and didn't realize that I wasn't recording. And I spoke for like maybe half an hour before I realized that I wasn't recording anything. So anyway, I guess I have to start over. I was having a discussion with someone and it irritated me a little bit, this discussion. And so I was just like, hey, let me just talk about this on a video. So here goes. Now, this is in regards to marriage and having children when you're married and marriage. And basically, let me just start out by saying me and my husband, we've been married for going on 3 years now, or 3 years. I'm really bad with dates. 3 years. And they say once you make it to 3 years, you get over that hump in your marriage, which is kind of true, but 3 years is still young in a marriage. Now, we are young in marriage, but in age, we're, matured. And I'm not just talking about age in terms of our number in age, but I'm talking about age in terms of maturity. Because you could be 25 and be matured, you could be 30 and still be immature, but I feel like we're two matured adults. Now, when we, in the process of our young marriage, we have been growing and learning so many different things about ourselves, about each other, about everyone else that's not within our marriage, who we try not to allow to impact or influence our marriage. So we've been, going through the process in the last couple of years of just really learning how to communicate with each other, understanding each other, growing with each other in so many different aspects. We've been through a lot in 3 years. To be honest, we feel like we've been married for 10 years. Like, it's like ridiculous. We've been through so much in the last 3 years, it's not even funny. Things that we went through, been through, and still going through a little bit, you would equate that to a 30-year span. But we've only been in it for 3 years now. So, we've been through a lot spiritually growing, spiritually maturing, with our relationship with God, with our spiritual, growth, individually as well as collectively, as it pertains to our marriage. And in the process, we've definitely grown in strength. It is really strengthening our marriage. And marriage is no joke. It's something that you gotta take seriously. It's not, it doesn't end at the wedding. Some people just want to get married because they want to have a grandiose wedding. And they don't think about, okay, a wedding is just one day. Marriage is forever. That's what you need to put all your investment in. I mean, financially, emotionally, that's where all your investment should be aimed to. There's nothing wrong with having a grandiose wedding if you can afford it, but don't think that that's it. Okay? We've been through bruises, we've been through tears, and we went through a lot of things together. And it definitely made us stronger. I appreciate my husband even more today than I ever thought I could possibly appreciate him. I adore him even more. I love him even more. And he the same with me. We look at each other and we're like, wow, we're doing this. We're really getting through, and we're really doing it together. And that's the whole aspect of a marriage. A marriage, you are a team. So everything, you got a team. Even you're a team against the world. You're a team against other family members. You're a team against friends. You are the team. You can't be against each other and take sides with family members or relatives or so forth against your mate, or go out and embarrass your mate or say things about your mate to other people. That's between you and your mate. Whatever goes on between you is between you and your husband or your wife, nobody else. I mean, people get into little quarrels, you're going to have disagreements, but at the end of the day, you got to listen to each other's hearts. You got to learn to communicate with each other and respect each other and love each other at the end of the day. And that's basically what we've learned, and we contribute that to, our personalities. We contribute that to what we've learned from our church, the marriage retreats and teachings that we listen to, and we definitely keep that going. And we definitely still working on some things, still have our own personal goals and plans that has nothing to do with anyone else but us and our future family, in regards to whether or not we want to have children, whether we bear our children of our own loins, or whether we decide to adopt a needy child, a child that needs a parent, who needs a loving home. And that's one of the things that we have in our heart to do as well. So that brings me into the topic of having children. Now, again, we've been only been married for 3 years, but even though our marriage is young, we're not young. So if we're definitely aware of our ages. And yes, once in a while we do have people come and ask us, directly, so when are you guys planning to have children? When are you gonna have some kids? Either from relatives or from mainly relatives, more so than anyone else, or older people from church or something. But and we respect these people, and we respect everyone. But personally, my personal thoughts about asking a couple whether or not they're planning to have children or any of that sort of thing, that is like, I'm not gonna say it's disrespectful. I feel like it's irrelevant. I feel like it's inappropriate. There's some inappropriate aspect to asking a couple that question, because one, how do a couple gonna answer that? If you ask a couple, oh, so when you plan to have some kids, that's like an intimate, private type of question to ask, because you're asking about a couple's intimacy, because that's what it takes to have a child. So you got to know your place, when you step up into asking a couple that sort of question. That's an intimate question, because it takes a certain type of action to get that child, and that's none of your business. whether a couple is trying or planning, that's really irrelevant. If you see a couple that don't have children and they've been married for years and years and they have no children, well, it defeats the purpose to ask them that question, because then you just look foolish asking a couple that's been married for 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever, how many years that you're counting, because you're there counting down their clock, and they're not even thinking about it like that, or they have their own thing going on, and you're not a part of it. So if you see a couple that's not having children, either they decide that they want to wait and enjoy each other before they have children, or they have some things that they need to take care of financially, because it does cost money to have children. It's not a game. Children are not toys. Babies are not toys. Unless you are readily available to provide financial assistance to that couple, then you really have no say in whether they're having children or not. That's not your business. It's not relevant to you. So basically, to me, that's an inappropriate question. It's irrelevant, and it's foolish question to ask a couple, especially if they're in a long year, a couple of years in their marriage. Even if they're not, even if they're young in marriage, like 2 years, why are you asking them that question? You should be asking them, how is marriage? I see you guys are happy with each other. Continue to grow with each other. Continue to love on each other. If you guys need to talk about anything, just, that type of thing. A young couple that's maybe 1 or 2 years in, that's what you need to be, coming to them with. Not, so when are you guys trying to have a baby? Oh, feeling on her stomach if she having a baby. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, that type of stuff, it's just like, that's not in your place. That's not your place. You need to, some people need to stay in their place. And that's just me being blunt. That's nobody's business. I would never do that. I would never go to a couple and be like, oh, when are you gonna have children? That's not my business. Why am I in their bedroom? That's their personal, private type of, their intimate type of thing there. That's not my business. I really don't even want to go there. I don't want to think about them doing that. No, but seriously, yeah. So you gotta be careful because sometimes there are couples who are trying, and it may be a difficult time for them where they're not successfully having, bearing or conceiving. So sometimes it takes longer for certain couples to have a baby, and they're trying, and in the process of trying, it may be a difficult thing, and they may not want you coming up and bringing up kids. So if a couple is married and they're happy and you see them, focus on their marriage. Focus on them as a couple, their family. The Gorms, we're the Gorms, we're family, whether we have children or not. Children don't validate a couple. Okay? Children are just extension of that couple, of extended family of that couple. Because a child will remain a baby for such a short time. They grow so fast and they become adults before you know it. So, it's just like that. So that's how we think. And we don't think about having a baby so we can post pictures all over social media and all of that stuff so people could like and comment, ooh, so cute, oh, such a beautiful baby, oh my goodness. That's great if you want to have a baby so you can show off, but babies to me are not toys. I take it seriously. I take another human being's life very seriously. They're not toys. Okay, you have to be a responsible person, be in the right state of mind, financially together, have your resources together, be well educated because you got to educate that child. And in the society, in the world, where the world is going right now, there are times when I just like, I don't know if I want to have a child. I'd rather maybe adopt a child that's out there that's suffering right now, that was abandoned by their parents or whatever, versus me being selfish. And even if we decide that we have our own child, or a child comes into play, then yeah, we want to make sure that child is well educated about the times and well prepared with the times, and we have to be prepared ourselves as adults, as a married couple. And another thing that I appreciate about me and my husband is that we're both two people who take things seriously. We don't take things all willy-nilly, and our marriage has caused us to become so much in oneness that if we were to have a child, that child could not set us against each other. Okay? If my husband tell our child, oh, you're not doing that today, or you're not, tell them something, then they know full good and well that when they go to mommy, she gonna say the same thing. So that's not even gonna cross their minds to try to play us against each other. Because we've grown into so much of a oneness with each other. We know each other so well now. When our child come and observe us as a married couple, as their mommy and daddy, they're gonna be like, oh, they're one. If daddy says it, mommy's saying it too. So I ain't even gonna go there. They'll know. And that's the oneness you want your child to see. So that's what I appreciate about the years of the couples that wait years to have children, because I know they established their relationship. They established something for their child to look up to and to emulate. That they want that marriage. That's the marriage I want. When I get older and I get married, I want a husband like my daddy. Or when I get older, I want a wife like my mommy. I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best wife. I want us to be so oneness with each other. That's powerful. So, I see couples that have children immediately after they get married and they never knew nothing about each other, and the child come in between them and separate them, and they're all consumed with the child and they forget about their marriage. Their marriage becomes second place and the child becomes first place. And I'm like, oh no, not us. That's not happening with us. So, that's basically where me and my husband are at. One, don't ask us about when we're going to have children, when we plan to have children. That's none of your business. First of all, that's an intimate, private thing between me and my husband to discuss whether we want to have children or not. That's nobody's business. Unless you plan on providing a lot of stuff, then okay, then come and say that. If you're gonna come to me and ask me when you guys gonna have children, then you better be ready to say, because when you guys are ready to have children, I want to let you know that I got you guys. I'm gonna take good care of your child. I'm gonna bring y'all child some money. I'm gonna provide all the pampers. When that baby crying, I'll be right over to help you. I'm gonna get up late at night, and if you get up late at night and that baby's crying, you give me a call, because I'm gonna come right on over and take care of that baby so you can go get your sleep on, girl. So you can get some sleep. So I got you. So whenever you ready to have that baby, you call on me. I'm gonna be there. Okay? So if you're not gonna bring that, then don't think twice about coming to me and asking me about, when me and my husband gonna plan to get into intimacy to have children, because that's basically what you're asking, and that's like inappropriate to me. Some couples decide to adopt a baby, and I think that is admirable and honorable and a great thing to do. That's a real selfless couple to do that, and that's something that me and my husband discussed. And we love children. We're currently working on something that pertains to having children around our home. So it's something that we don't, it doesn't matter at this point to us whether we have our own, whether we take care of other people's children, or whether we decide to adopt a child and give it a home, him or her a home. It's a blessing either way, and it's beautiful. So yeah, a child doesn't define a married couple. It doesn't define you as a woman or as a wife. It doesn't define none of that. Because a lot of people who have children, a lot of mothers or wives out there have children, they're not much of wives to their husband. They put their children before their husband. It's all about their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. That's wrong. And it doesn't do the child any good to see that. And right now, me and my husband, we're so much more focused on building what we're building right now. We have businesses that we are focusing on. We see the times and what's going on in the world, and we're just like, wow, we really get ourselves spiritually right and all of that stuff. So like, and definitely, we consider having children.